Hi, and welcome back to
Inspired to Game. I'm Sean.
And I am Lola. Today we are talking about Seeker Chronicles. This is a game coming to crowdfunding. It is a two-player science dueling game. Now, before we get into our review of the game, I'll give you a quick overview of how to play it. In Seeker Chronicles, you play dueling scientists working to expand human knowledge. Now, as a scientist, you have a library of cards available to you. This is your draw pile. Now, to win the game, you need to cycle through all the cards in your pile 3 times into your discard, which is referred to in the game as your archive. These 3 times through represents the 3 stages of science: formulating a hypothesis, gathering evidence, and reaching a conclusion. To play the game, each person will take turns drafting 3 scientists and their corresponding cards. They will choose one of their scientists to play down before them. Your area in front of you is referred to as your memory. Place your scientists and their corresponding Seeker module. You start with 2 cards in your hand, and your turn begins by drawing a card and readying any modules in front of you. What that means is if you have any cards turned sideways, you face them straight upwards again. Then you can place 1 card from your hand into your memory in front of you. Now you get to link as many cards as you want or are able to the scientist that you have in front of you. To link cards to your Seeker, you need to pay the leftmost top resource, or if you're hyperlinking directly from your hand, the bottom resource. To acquire that resource, you need to turn a module in your memory sideways. By doing this, you are freeing up that resource to use for linking. Therefore, you can only link as many modules as you have cards to turn sideways to pay for the linking cost. To link a card to one of your Seekers, you will place them underneath that corresponding Seeker, and you get to activate its linked ability. In the bottom right corner, you'll notice there is a number. This is the value of that card. And once you have accrued a number of modules beneath your Seeker that equals 7 or more, you can place your next Seeker out onto the table. Now, each scientist is in a duel with a scientist directly opposing it. So, for instance, both players start with 1 scientist or Seeker in front of them, and they will be dueling directly the scientist across from them. The next stage of your turn is the research phase. If you choose to, you can declare that you're going to research. The opposing player is able to challenge your researching and link or hyperlink any cards that they are able to at this time. Then you add up the number of points below your Seeker and compare that to the number of the corresponding Seeker of your opponent. If your number is higher, you will archive the difference in cards from your draw deck into your discard. You'll do this with each Seeker in front of you, comparing them directly to the opposing Seeker. At the end of your turn, any effects from your linked cards will terminate, and the next player will begin their turn. Play continues with turns like this until the first player has cycled through their deck 3 times. Once they have done that, they have won the game. Now, this is a gorgeous game. The artwork is fantastic. It's actually one of the things that first drew me in when I saw it online. Now, also the theme for me. We are huge science geeks, and I absolutely love the science theme here.
Scientists going head to head in an arena researching. It's as if science just became a blood sport.
Yeah, because it's a dueling game. It's a 2-player dueling game, which is usually a battle, usually involves fighting and bloodshed and such like that. But this doesn't. This involves science, and that's a really fun twist. So each of these cards too has a very awesome scientific principle or idea on the card with some flavor text to go with it, and then the artwork goes with it as well. And each one is paired with its corresponding Seeker or scientist, as it were. These are organized into quantum, order, and cosmos. I love the structure of this game too. So as we mentioned in the overview, the objective is essentially to work through your deck of cards 3 times. So as you research, you want each of your Seekers to have higher numbers than their opposing Seekers, and then you get to archive that amount of cards. It's a really neat idea and it works really well. My favorite thing about this game here is the degree of choice that you have with the cards that you can play. So each of the different classifications has different style of cards to them, and it's a lot of fun to really play around with which ones you're going to link, which ones you're not going to link. And there's a good amount of strategy here too, because you need to put your cards down in order to use them as a resource in order to link most cards. But at the same time, if you do that within your turn, when it's the opponent's turn and now they're researching and you have a chance to link things up to help thwart them, you can't do that if you don't have anything at the ready. So I found you always wanted to have something so that you could link, and some cards were more advantageous to link up during your opponent's turn than your own turn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there was a lot of nuance to strategy here that I really, really enjoyed.
And while some cards appear to be very powerful, and the first time we played, I was looking at 6s and 7s on the other side of the table and thinking, wow, that's way too overpowered. And then we switched sides and I learned that, yeah, it's not the cards, it's me.
I can tell you, this is my favorite 2-player dueling card game that I've played. I really like it because I love the theme, I love the art, I love the nuance to the amount of strategy, and it changes based on who you have as a scientist that you draft at the beginning of the game as well. So there's a lot to go through with this game. There's a lot to explore, and it's very satisfying and fun to play. So if you like the theme, if you like the art, and a 2-player dueling game is your thing, you might want to check out this campaign. We're going to leave a link down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching today.
If you've enjoyed this video, please support the channel by subscribing if you haven't already.
And as always,
Happy
gaming, folks. Hi, and welcome back to
Inspired. How fast can you say that? Hi, and welcome back to.
Now, this is a prototype of a card game coming to crowdfunding soon, or potentially already on, depending when this launches. I get stuck in that trap.
Yep.
Okay.
Somehow.
Mutual. Okay. They're organized into quantum, chaos. No, not chaos, it's order. I tend towards chaos. I'm a beast of chaos. I think of that from quantum, order, and chaos.
Cosmos.
I keep on thinking maybe you'll interject something here.
I got nothing to say about that. That is absolutely true. Not a word of lie in that whole thing. you're what sort of rah, you know, you're my cheerleader. I'm the sidekick.
Sidekick.
I'm the Ed McMahon to her Johnny Carson. Wow, am I old?
I don't even know those people, although the names are familiar. See, because I'm not old.
I'm the Guillermo to her Jimmy Kimmel.
There you go. I know Jimmy Kimmel. We're going to leave a link to it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today.
Description.
We're going to leave... Shoot. Yeah, I do that. Okay.